What's up, guys? So in today's episode of Barbells and Banter, we started with our usual banter. Then we started talking about how to get big legs, even at the minimum effective dose, and how we would kind of structure that. Also talked about the use of knee sleeves and how they, play a role in our training. And then we opened up the Q&A to the audience and answered some of the questions. So you have to stay tuned to the episode to get our answers on those. Yeah, I can't do the palette thing today. My brain's mush.
It's not you anyway.
So
it's all good.
Just put these nice fresh
A
kicks
little
over
flex,
here.
little flex. It's hilarious because I looked at my shoe catalogue this morning.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I going to wear?
Shoe catalogue.
It's like, I haven't worn the Carmines in a while. They're still like epically new.
Yeah.
I was like,
is that suede on the top?
Fuck it. Yeah.
Oof, dicey.
Yeah.
Just talking about that.
Because look, I'm going to be honest, they're not that comfortable.
Yeah.
Sixes are not. They're bricks.
No, yeah.
But they're pretty.
I think, once after 6, it's like, it's a bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. It's the 5s, my purple ones, right?
Yeah.
The white with
5s
purple.
are
They're fucking so comfortable.
Yeah.
They're like runners.
5s are fine.
They're the only ones that I've ever put on and gone, oh yeah, I could see how you play basketball in these.
Because you can actually crease them.
Yeah.
Whereas these just don't bend.
And they've got that nice soft inner sole.
Isn't it wild how ones like Jordan played basketball in them?
Yeah. And like you watched Last Dance and he's like, and I wore them again and bled for 3 days.
Yeah, it's
fucking wild.
One's probably the most comfortable though, the Jordans.
Yeah, but to play basketball in, it's not.
As a casual shoe, they're alright.
It's not an athletic shoe.
Yo, back then they were like leather and hand stitched and stuff. So who knows?
Yeah, maybe they're not.
Maybe his ones were even a bit more comfortable.
Yeah,
still
made them for him.
Still can't see it.
Yeah, like his toenails were falling off and shit.
Yeah,
it's not it.
Yeah,
cool looking shoe though.
Yeah, yeah, and like everyone else, well, I guess it was probably a little bit earlier. They were playing in Converse and shit.
Yeah,
crazy.
Did you? This isn't that exciting for everyone else, but fuck them. Did you say
for the ear people? Jason and I wear nice shoes today.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. Did you see the golf?
No.
So PGA and Live merging.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So the PGA are just like, can't beat them.
Okay, you won.
Can't beat them. Join them.
Wow.
Yeah. So imagine all those players that took those pay packets and the ones that rejected it. Well, I'm pretty sure me and the boys were saying that like Tiger rejected like I think it was nearly $1 billion.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Even Rory.
And now they're just gonna merge anyway.
Wow.
So they're going to take like the team element from Live.
So for those of you that don't pay any attention to golf, basically there was a
Saudi-backed
brand that just
company
bought all of these players and
opened up their own
tried to like freshen up golf.
Yeah, which they did a good job.
Yeah, and there was huge backlash. They did like a Netflix series on the season, and the big thread of that was like, who's going to take the money, who's not going to take the money, and then like our Aussie guy. The best Aussie we have at the moment, Cam Smith, just won a major, so he got offered big bucks. There was a couple like champions that had kind of fallen off a little bit.
Brooks, Dustin Johnson.
Yeah,
like
Koepka was kind of like...
a couple of former world number ones.
I'm either going to retire or... And then they like showed him all this money. He was like, I will do that. And then he won. Yeah. So, maybe the time on the road was getting to him, as someone like that, for example.
Yeah.
And... yeah, there was huge pushback about it. Like, how dare you? And they were banned. They weren't allowed to come back.
So the players couldn't play back in the PGA.
And now the PGA's like, okay, you win.
We'll take some of that oil money, please.
Yeah. And the best response I saw was like, it was actually just a commentator. It wasn't a player. And I think it was even an Australian interview where she was like, oh, but what do you think about where the money comes from? And he was just like, do you have an iPhone in your pocket?
Yeah, no.
And she was
don't
like,
even bother.
Yeah.
All of that,
and he was like,
what about the ring on your finger, love?
Yeah.
Like, the diamond that you've got. Like, come on, man.
Like, where do you think that comes from? And it was just like the look on her face was just like, oh. Yeah, okay. So it's like it's very selective fucking outrage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hilarious.
It's wild.
Yeah, so what's like their... So their comps don't exist separately anymore?
No, so they're going to merge, yeah. So there's not a lot of detail at the moment, but they're going to take the team element from their competition to whatever new... because the DP World Tour is also... all three of them are merging together.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's still a lot of questions about like how many... Yeah, how many tournaments there's going to be, where they're going to play... How many players are going to play? How long they're going to play for? Because one was 4 days, the other was 3.
Yeah, maybe I'll actually get into professional golf now.
It's
I've
good.
really struggled with
The
it.
majors will be good now because the world rankings will be everyone. So the top 50 in the world will actually play at the majors now.
Yeah. Well, it's been like that, hasn't it? Anyway, though.
Yeah, but that's only because you can play in a major if
Because
you,
they still had rankings.
within 3 years if you've placed a certain amount. So then after that, they were like, well, what do we do?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so pretty sure that's one of the major reasons why they've done it.
Yep.
So that's it. Anyway,
Fascinating.
back to more
So yeah,
banter.
the wow thing. I said wow twice in like 20 seconds on one of my YouTube videos the other day, and I was like, I must superimpose Owen Wilson's head onto myself. Wow.
I watched.
I didn't have the balls to actually do the impersonation.
Yeah.
I was in a room by myself, and I was still embarrassed to try it, and I've done it on the podcast, and it wasn't too bad. So fuck it.
Did all
I
right.
should have done it.
Yeah. I watched. Is it Behind Enemy Lines? Is Owen Wilson in that? I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
It's a good movie.
I'm useless with movies.
It's a really good movie. I've watched it countless times because I'm a bit of an action junkie.
Yeah.
Surprise, the guy that enjoys countless hours of Call of Duty. Yeah. Great film.
I'm gonna go watch Bert Kreischer's movie this weekend.
Yeah.
The Return of Comedy.
Okay. I've never heard of it.
So
Is it a movie?
You know
or?
who Bert Kreischer is?
Yeah. He's the fat comedian.
Correct. So
Yeah.
his story, the machine that made him super famous.
Yeah.
So he told it on Rogan. Rogan was like, you have to tell it on stage. And then he went to do his stand-up, and he wasn't going to tell it. And the crowd was like, the machine.
Yeah.
And then so that his whole take this top off thing is all from the machine.
Right.
And he basically can't do a gig without people screaming it. Like,
Okay.
he has to tell the story every time he's on stage, basically.
Yeah.
So they've basically made a movie. From what I understand, it's actually like post the story. So the story might be at the start or something, and then afterwards they talk about it. But it is an important cultural moment, which is why I'm going to go to the cinema and pay for a ticket.
Okay.
Name the last funny comedy to come out.
Oh.
Blockbuster.
Black Adam.
Yeah, no, it'd have to be
the DC movies.
I wouldn't even know the dates. So to be like around, Step Brothers, 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Hangover.
Yeah.
Like 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah. Have you watched 40-Year-Old Virgin recently?
Not recently.
You wouldn't be able to make that movie.
No, and that's the point, right? So Tropic Thunder is another one.
There's so many parts of that movie. You're just like,
You can't say that now.
I can laugh at home about this.
Yeah. So the whole point, the whole cultural kind of shift is the idea that if this is successful, enough people will see
They'll bring back comedy.
that you can make money on a irreverent comedy.
Yeah.
Which if it's Bert, it's fucking gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be the idea is if it makes money, then other people will be like, all right, let's go. Apparently, there's like 3 other of like that similar kind of Rogan-esque cycle of comics.
Yeah.
That all have motion like films ready.
Yeah.
They just need the backing. So they spent 35 mil on it. So they basically need to, turn a big profit. And I learnt that the studios and the producers and all of that, basically anyone who has stock in the film only makes money on cinema tickets.
Right.
So once it goes to streaming, like Netflix would be like, okay, it costs you 35 mil. We'll give you the 35 mil. You'll break even. And then any profit that gets made is me.
Interesting.
So if that happens, if you wait for it to
hit Netflix,
I'll watch it when it's streaming, then it won't make any money.
All right. So are you virtue signaling me right now? Or?
I think I'm making a statement against virtue signaling. I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I want to bring back.
Oh no! I thought you meant like I have to pay to watch.
You do. So yes, I'm guilting you into doing it. Yes. Yeah.
I kind of feel like I should just buy the ticket. And
you don't even have to go.
Regardless of whether I go or not.
I'll go if it's shit. Just buy a ticket anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah.
Because the next ones might be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. I think I'm totally hijacking your podcast.
No, do it, please. I need it today.
I think it's an interesting cultural shift.
Yep.
So like we've talked about off camera, the Thor movie, and that like is a huge line in the sand for a lot of people, just like how poorly. Yeah. The conversation at the moment is like how drastic the difference between like the Rotten Tomatoes measurement and the public measurement is.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the right agenda
Yeah.
in the movie, then you don't score well based on the critics, because the critics have to align to the agenda, otherwise they get cancelled. So
Yeah.
then the cinemas have to align with the agenda, or the creators have to align with the agenda, because they get cancelled, they lose their job, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So this is the idea of Bert's idea behind this movie. I heard him speak about it, and I was actually like on the elliptical in the gym, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, Bert, let's go!" Like, I got all excited about it.
Got his heart rate up.
I did.
Zone 2.
Probably zone 3.
Ooh.
Maybe even 4, knowing me. So yeah, the idea will be like, oh, actually, like, do you see the Academy Awards? Like,
So disconnected
So
from shit like that.
Of course he did.
yeah, not the actual awards ceremony
Oh,
itself. So you,
Is that the one where the guy slapped the dude?
maybe I think so. So I'm also disconnected from
Yeah,
it.
it's like I don't know which
Academy,
trophies what.
Oscars.
Yeah, they're all
it
the
was
same.
one of them.
It's all the same
Yeah,
to me. It's like-
maybe it was the Oscars. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so your movie can't be nominated for a Academy Award now unless you meet diversity criteria.
Okay,
Jeez.
that's interesting.
Wild.
Yeah, very tough.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Who makes that criteria?
them,
Yeah,
they're bored. Yeah.
stuff.
So this whole thing is like the pushback against Hollywood of like,
Yeah,
stop agenderizing fucking everything.
yeah, bad.
And then like you look at the last few years, the most successful movies, like Top Gun's got to be number 1.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And then before that, like Avengers. I know I'm being biased in terms of movies that I liked, but I think
Yeah, there's probably like some really good performances and like a script in the
for
movie.
sure.
It's just
But
not action.
I think if you look at the public reception of films, Top Gun had to be one of the most successful. I don't know if it broke records or not.
Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah.
I've no
And
idea.
it's like, it's just a fucking simple action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, so like, America,
fuck yeah, save motherfucking day.
And it was just like, all right, let's go. I'm
Yeah.
in. Sign me up.
Yeah.
We hate whatever the other country is.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah. Crazy.
get him,
So yeah, that'd be really interesting.
shoot him.
So I'm going to do that
Blow 'em
this
up.
weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you see Karim saw Bert Kreischer in the city?
Mm.
You saw real
Yeah, I did
stuff?
see that. I did.
It's pretty cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I fucking missed Mark Normand on the weekend. I thought he was the weekend I was in Queensland,
Right.
and I got the dates wrong. And then I was like, fuck, when is that? And then I looked, and it was like that night.
Ooh.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah,
He's pretty funny.
I actually don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, I won't try and explain it.
Yeah.
Same sphere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just look into it.
Joe's mate.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. One of the Rogan circle.
I was like,
Circle.
Joe, fuck you.
Yeah.
Are we on first name terms with a guy? Fair enough. What's up, guys? Welcome to the STCfit podcast, where we talk about all things nutrition, training, and how to live your best life. If you want some more information about coaching, our free resources, and other fitness-related content, be sure to check us out on our website at www.stcfit.com. All right, let's get to the episode.
Yeah.
How was the week training?
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said last week on the podcast, no food after.
Oh yeah, we really gonna hammer Ben down on his diet.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's actually done it, guys.
I have. To the point, so we had pub night last night,
Oh yeah.
but the pub was booked out. So I had to have
Costello's.
had to have my dinner at 7. Look at you. You're a local. I had to have my dinner at 7.
Yeah.
So when I got home, my
Ooh.
lovely wife.
Wait, so you ate over after 7:01?
Well, I had to because I had to have my
Oh.
dinner. But
He's already breaking the
failed.
rules.
on the way
He's
back,
already breaking the rules.
on the way
guys.
back to the car, we walked past Coles. My lovely wife went inside and got not just a drumstick,
Yeah.
Oh no.
a white chocolate and raspberry drumstick.
Right.
And we went home.
Yeah.
Watched our show. She had one. I did not.
Ooh.
Well done, Ben.
Made it.
Does that get you sometimes? Like, you know, when you're just sitting there and like your partner's just eating whatever the fuck she wants.
So, I have eaten whatever the fuck I want for 7. Well, we've been together.
Ben's like, I am that person.
Yeah, seven and
I should be asking Amy this question.
Yeah, we've been together 7.5 years, and I reckon 7.45
7.8.
of those years, I've been the glutton.
Yeah, yeah.
When Amy did a bikini pageant competition in must have been 2019. Yeah, mid 2019. And I think she was like 2 weeks into dieting, and I went up to 650 grams of carbs a day.
Yeah.
So, and we didn't have a lot of time with her, so we were pretty aggressive about it. And if anyone knows Amy, she doesn't have the best diet. Let's put it that way. When we met, it was basically just like meat pies and sausage rolls. So she's eating like yogurt and shit. And I came out. I opened a bag of mixed lollies in the kitchen at like 8 p.m. because I didn't have enough food to do the day. And she could smell it from the kitchen. And she fucking like was crying, like tears in her eyes. Like, yeah, sorry.
Was this when she cried when you said she could have half a donut?
Yeah, same time. No. So we got, it was our birthday, and someone got us like Daniel's donuts, like a fucking massive thing of them. And she was like, obviously tracking pretty well, and she looked them up, and they were like, I don't know, 600 calories or something.
Yeah, donuts are like.
Yeah. And so, yeah, she cried. She's like, I can't have one. And I was like, okay, I understand. It was Chobani. I can't remember what she put in it, whether it was jelly crystals or like maybe some melted chocolate or something. Yeah. And I told him, like, you can have that. And she was like, really? And she was so happy, bro. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been our relationship for an extended period of time. So now I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Sit there and watch your wife eat her fucking ice cream.
I've eaten 2,000 calories a day more than you for the majority of our relationship, so I will just be quiet.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And she's training and doing all the right things, and that's fine.
Yeah, I remember I was like doing cardio for my bodybuilding show, and like my whole family was sitting in my lounge room with like M&Ms, donuts, fuck you name it, chips.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like on the bike while we're all watching a movie.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I fucking hate all
everyone.
Of you right now. I think it was my mum. She's like, oh, what's wrong? And I'm like, I know this is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
But like, you dogs aren't really helping the situation.
Yeah. I remember
so bad.
When I was in Queensland training with Will Crozier, and Mickey was like 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
I think. I went to their place to watch the Origin. Same thing. Had like a packet of peckish, some dip, a few lollies and shit. I messaged Bill. I'm like, I got like 800 calories to eat. Is it okay if I bring that? Because like I don't want to eat that in front of someone that's 8 weeks out. He's like, oh, bro, it's fine. I eat all day. It's okay.
800 calories is one meal for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Mickey's like, yes, I'm used to it. It's fine. This is my own place of harshness.
Yeah, I guess like when it's self-inflicted, you kind of just gotta suck it up.
Yeah, it's the old
you chose
don't complain about the things you asked for, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Never complain about the drive from Gisborne. Not allowed.
No.
Never allowed to.
No, I'll tell you what, as soon as you said you were moving out there, I'm like, I can't wait till he complains about it.
I'm gonna get him. It'll be 2 years in, and I'll say it once, and Jason will be like, nah.
Got him. I've got him. How's the golf game going?
Golf game is okay.
Yeah.
It is okay. So I think I'm almost score-wise back to where I was previously.
Mm-hmm.
But I've made a decision that I'm going to try today after the podcast. I'm going back to the link fingers grip.
Oh, always interlock.
Yeah, so I did it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And hated it.
Of course.
But now
you would have had 3 hits.
But now I've
Rick Shields said it.
Because I No,
because he put a video up about it. So I was like,
really?
Yeah, I was like, he's fucking watched the video.
No. Because I'm so lost with my setup at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
I'm like,
may as well just like
this. It's going to give me. It's actually going to give me more reference because I'm like, you mentioned Anchorman before. I'm like, what do I do with my hands? Like that's how I feel like on a golf club right now.
Yeah.
It's like everything's wrong, so I may as well just add that thing because it all feels wrong anyway, and then yeah,
that's it. Interlocks where it's at, Bass.
But off the tee, much improvement.
Good.
Much improvement. Carried 200 the other day. I was very excited about.
Welcome.
But because I have basically been using all of my lofted clubs as straight clubs, based up because of my hand position for the last 18 months.
Cover drive, everything.
Yeah, it's the short game's a little more challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Can't just 60-degree everything from within 100 meters.
Well, if you hit the driver far enough, you should be able to.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
But-
cool.
Yeah, so training, I am also, so I've ticked off the food, pats on the back, giving me validation,
Yeah.
love language,
Yeah.
affirmation.
Affirmation, guys. Lots of it.
But I said that I would train, run, or golf every day.
I did remember you saying that.
So
I heard that on the podcast this morning.
We are day 10.
Yeah.
And I went for
Every day?
I went for a run. Went to the gym Saturday night, 6:30 or
saw
something,
that, yeah.
because we had shit on during the day.
I was
and
at
then,
the pub. I was at the pub.
Fuck, bro. Were we at Costello's?
No, I was at Baringa, mate.
On New Gisborne
Yeah,
side.
just
Ugh.
across the freeway.
Ugh.
I don't actually care. You can shit on your own area as much as you like. I was an out of towner.
Yeah. And then so we did the lift off.
Yeah.
You went home, which was a smart choice. I went and had the biggest chicken burger in the world. But it was before 7 o'clock, so it's fine.
Mm.
And then
See how you can really fuck around, twist the rules here, guys.
yeah, went home and I had to go for a run that afternoon.
Yeah.
That was pretty rough.
After a fucking 1,500 calorie meal.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I watched qualifying first and then
Yeah.
went.
Yeah. To be honest, the burger thing didn't really excite me. I don't really get that excited about a burger place anymore.
I don't either,
Yeah.
but it was very good.
Yeah, I get it, but yeah. Like Steph and I were hunting burger
Yeah,
places
I know,
down in
I
like
know.
2014.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
like, there's only so many burgers you can eat, and you're like, oh, another gluttonous burger that's got fried chicken and
Yeah.
cheese and, you know, all this sauce and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
No, it was very good. I was impressed.
yeah.
What was it called, Tam?
Burger Road.
Burger Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decent.
What did I eat when I got home? A cornmeal.
Cornmeal.
I had Smoky Mountain meatballs. Rice.
Delicious. That's a good one.
Meat. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course you like it. It's got fucking barbecue sauce in
Yeah.
it.
All the ones with barbecue sauce are good ones.
Yeah. All the ones
Bangers
that,
and mash, mixed
all the
grill,
ones that go with barbecue
and the
sauce.
meatballs.
Yeah.
And the tomato meatballs is good too.
Yeah. But speaking of the liftoff, that was another flawlessly ran event.
Thank you, Jess. Well done,
Yeah.
Jess.
It's very
We're going to say Jess's name heaps
okay.
because Jess sent someone to listen to the podcast
Yeah.
and they messaged them and like,
Do you actually?
they're like, are you like Voldemort? Because they just didn't say your name the whole time. I was just like, okay, so we'll
do we
talk
have
about you
to?
more.
All right. So we have to. There has to be a segment on every
Yeah.
episode.
News from Jess this week. We will
Where
get
we
her in.
just say-
It's just challenging with the little fella.
Jess. There we said it.
Yes.
But it
Jess ran point on organisation
Great.
and did a fucking
Yeah.
great job.
yeah.
I heard the MC was amazing.
You
Judging
actually
was pretty good.
I'll tell you what. You said some funny stuff. I was like,
Look out.
Ben's being funny. Yeah. There was a couple of times I was like, fucking
Not
lift his
bad.
game
Not
a bit.
bad.
I was
Not
like,
all
I
dad
laughed-
jokes all day.
I laughed at that.
This is
Yeah.
what can happen when you're not stressing about running the whole thing.
Well, that helps.
Well, you
yeah.
can actually enjoy yourself.
Well, and I didn't have I only had one out of the 16 lifters,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
wasn't actually. And the spotted and loading was taken care of. So it's like, okay, I just need to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really good. Ran really well.
yeah. Credit to Adrian and his team.
Mm.
Everyone moved very, very well.
Yeah.
And then
And
obviously the risk of like, we've run liftoffs for a long time.
yeah.
And the culture of the event has always been really important. Like everyone getting around each other, getting to know each other, being friendly, helping in the weight room, cheering for each other, all of that shit has always been really, really important to the success of the event.
Yeah.
So when you bring in another coach and their lifters, you've got to hope that they bring the same culture.
Yeah.
And fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
My client came up to me after the squat. She's like, someone was like cheering for me by name, and I don't even know who they were. And
Yeah.
I was like, well, yeah, your name's up on the board there, and I said it when you came up.
Everyone wants you to do well.
Yeah.
Everyone wants you to lift the weights.
Yeah, she's like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
it's
cool.
awesome. It was good. And is it Tony?
Yeah, fuck,
Yeah.
weapon.
Yeah. Like didn't have to stay.
Yeah.
Got involved in it. Helped the boys kind of load the bars and stuff. So
Yeah,
it was
what's
awesome.
the name of the gym?
Elemental Strength.
Elemental Strength.
It is.
Yeah, Tan looks scared.
That's
but
what it's called
it is.
now.
I think
We
it was,
renamed your business.
Elemental Strength Society or something.
Oh,
like that.
well, yeah, we got
Yeah.
most of it.
Yeah.
Search it up. You'll be able
India
to find
Park, it's great.
Yeah.
Very nice gym too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good equipment. I think I might make some more appearances there. We were discussing afterwards because it's great, like lighting and all that kind of shit. We're like, my thought process was, could Jason train there?
Oh,
So then we can go there and train, and
yeah.
because like
I could train there. It's got
filming and
barbells.
stuff's good.
Barbells, dumbbells. God, man. What do you think I am?
Yeah, but more for content.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can
Yeah.
train there. Yeah, it's fine. It's got, stuff. Lift weights.
It has things.
Expose your muscles to mechanical tension.
Round plates go up.
Yeah, that's it. You got all the things.
But yeah, very good gym.
Yeah, the
so
judging.
make sure you check that
I'll tell
out.
you what, the judging. Fuck.
Yeah,
Awful.
judging was good.
Awful.
Judging was good.
I'll tell you what, I was very lenient.
Yes.
If you didn't have a soft suit on, everything was a green
it's
light.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
all right. It's all good.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Is
like
that-
if it was borderline, I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Calls, fuck it.
Don't worry about.
You missed the call, but you lift the weights.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think in that environment, like, I was like, what's more important is just like, if it wasn't done unsafely,
That's the key. Yeah.
I think in that environment, it's like rather than crush someone's confidence for their next lift, just, let them know next time, like, hey, just slow down. But if you had a soft suit on, I'm like,
Yeah.
You
And,
did-
and
you
also
did make-
to the judges, to the coaches too, like, I'm going to green light it,
yeah,
but it's fucking, you touch and go with depth.
yeah. I think there was only one where I was like,
Don't put,
you didn't
don't put
get it.
fucking 10 kilos on it.
Yeah,
Put 2.5 because they
Yeah.
already didn't make depth.
Yeah.
And do your next
yeah.
attempt.
Yeah, I think there was like one where the bar didn't touch the chest, and then one where the depth was just a little too high on the squat.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
But
was
overall, it was
that
like-
bench killing you?
Bro, I couldn't. I wanted to
Yeah.
but I just was like, I can't
Yeah.
tell you to press this. It
Yeah.
has to. The rules are the
It
rules.
has to touch you. Yeah.
Yeah, the rules are the rules. So yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
It's all it is tough to like actually fucking red light someone.
Yeah.
Like, as they've trained all up to all this point as well,
Mm-hmm.
and like all that stuff kind of bears down on you, and then you have to be like the bearer of bad news.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
you didn't meet the criteria of the lift. So
Yeah. So
but-
one of the girls was having a bit of trouble getting the bar to her chest.
yeah,
And she did it on the last lift.
I was just like, keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
that was good, though.
came back and fucking dominated the deadlifts, which
Yeah.
is to have first appearance on any platform, that many people yelling and screaming, because everyone was like, that third one's like,
yeah, don't.
we're picking this up for you.
Yeah,
like, this has to
do
happen.
not let that go back up without touching your chest. Has to.
So then, to still come back and do well in the
Yeah.
deads, I was like, respect.
Yeah. To be fair, no one really there wasn't a lot of situations where I was like, like it was pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
The lifting was pretty good. A couple of like the rack calls and
Rackles
stuff,
with squats, yeah.
but most of it's just like it's fucking heavy. I just want to take it off my back.
Or I'm excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Even the bench, it's like when you push, like I get it, you push and then it's
Yeah.
kind of one motion to just
It's something
Take
that's
it off
really
you.
important if you do want to compete, is to fucking practice how you play.
yeah,
Like-
yeah.
Yeah, I see it so often, like, oh yeah, I'll implement the cues. It's like, no,
You should just
fucking
train that
do
way.
them now.
Yeah, you should just train that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't go chasing the rack on your bench presses or your squats or
No.
whatever. Stand up, own the position, lock out. Yeah.
but yeah, it was good. It was a really good day. Like,
had a great time.
Smooth sailing.
Yeah, I actually somehow felt anxious because I wasn't doing anything. I mean, in the days leading up, I'm like to Jess, do I have to, is there anything you need?
Mm.
No? Okay, cool. I'll see you there.
Yeah, it's good.
It was great. It was really good.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. See, I think that's pretty much it.
What's going on with your training?
Mine, I think I'm gonna call it quits on the cut. I think
Done?
Yeah, I got a migraine last night. A migraine about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then I can't. So that's usually like my body's telltale sign of like your body you can't take
Expired.
anymore.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm exhausted. If people can hear it. So then I can't control the other stuff that's causing the stress, I guess.
Yeah.
So I have to just consider what my options are. So yeah, it's like it's funny. I went into the gym Monday and I was like, everything's heavy, and then I had a good workout yesterday, and then I got a migraine last night.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
It's time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
It would either
yeah.
be diet break time or
Yeah, I
check
think
out.
I'm going to diet break. Like, I don't want to, I don't care about, like, as much as I'm like, right, fucking get massive. Like, I I don't actually want to be any heavier. Like,
Yeah.
I'd like to be bigger in certain areas.
Yeah.
Always need a couple extra inches, Ben. Yeah, I said that to someone just out of jest because it's our joke, and they
Yeah.
were just like, "What the fuck?" Anyway,
In a situation that you shouldn't have
so
been
I
saying
used the
that.
foam blocks on the pendulum squat, and then they were like, "What are they for?" And I said, "Oh, it's just the extra." I said, "Those extra couple of inches give me good range of motion." I said, "So, you know, I guess just like always, you could always do those extra couple of inches." And then they were just like, "What did you just fucking say?"
Male or female?
It's a female.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I just forgot. Just bantering, you know. So anyway, it was very not. It was,
No, I like it.
But
That's
it was
good.
fucking funny. I was just like,
Because the right person would have pissed themselves.
yeah,
Because it would be
yeah,
so
she laughed.
unexpected.
They laughed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, but I forgot. I was just like being a fuckhead. Yeah, just like,
Oh, that's contextual to my environment.
yeah, yeah. So probably could have taken it as like maybe my height. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, it's just I think I might just back it off a little bit.
Yeah.
Increase the food for a bit and then push on. Continue to get leaner when I can.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. But training's going good. I was saying, I put it on my Instagram like yesterday. I'm like, I've changed my program like maybe twice in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like it's literally just been like really small changes. Like
I changed 2 exercises.
yeah. It's usually the same movement patterns.
Yeah.
You know, same weights as well, almost. Same rep ranges. Sorry. So yeah, it's like training's not really that exciting. If someone was to ask me like, what do you do over a year? It's like
Lift weights.
the same. Yeah, it's like
instead of round disc go up, it's like plate on cable go up.
yeah. Which led to an interesting conversation with somebody as well, because they were like, my program's changed like once since October last year, and then we were talking about like, so this person was like, I got to a certain amount of weight on the leg press, and then in the past they would have changed the exercise.
Yeah.
But all they did was just like decrease the weight a little bit, stayed there, and then now they're like 15, 20 kilos heavier. And I was like, the amount of people that would get to, I guess, that quote unquote like plateau weight, and then just instantly, because I don't know, the books, literature, people have told them like, you've hit a plateau.
Even the reward.
You've hit a plateau, you need to change your exercise now, and they just go and do it. It's like, you know, we've spoken about this heaps of times. It's like, that's when the fun begins.
Yeah.
Because if you can find a way to break through that plateau, whether it's like skill of the lift, variables that are impeding on recovery, whatever else, once you break through it, that's actual progression.
Yeah.
It's like true progression. Like your nervous system and your muscle mass has adapted in it accordingly.
Yeah.
To move the weight.
Remember how it used to say, like, if you put X amount of weight on your deadlift, you've put on muscle mass?
Yeah.
I think that's the only scenario that's true.
Yeah.
So you have to have done your program for X period. You have to have reached that plateau and then push through a plateau, and then you can say, like if you went from 300 to 350 on the leg press after you stalled at 300,
the rest of
your
that
legs
is
are probably bigger.
New strength that's been developed by muscle and
But if you're
central nervous system.
6 weeks into your program and you put 50 kilos on your leg press, like you just learnt to leg press better.
Yeah, which that was the kind of the, I guess, little kind of shot that I took as well, was like, well, if your program changes every 4 to 6 weeks, like, and it's wholesale changes of the program.
Yeah.
Because I know we adjust programs every 6 to 8-ish weeks. But really, like, it's not, like, I know I don't really make wholesale changes unless the goal changes.
How do you feel communicating that to clients? So I always have this little bit of guilt.
Yeah, okay.
Like guilt or fear or something. Like, and I always ask them, I'm like, are you happy to repeat this program, or are you bored and would you like a change?
Yeah.
Because but I don't want to be like, I'm not avoiding the work. I'm happy to write you a new program.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's the service that you're paying for. But also, you could probably do this program for 12, 16, 20 weeks and still make progress on it. But your perception of what I'm doing in the back end then is going to be...
Yeah. Yeah, I just put the ball in their court. Like, if you're here to get results and drag this out and get it extract as much from it as possible, then we stay on the program. Or I just say, like, what could change in the program that doesn't alter most of the
it keeps it fresh for you.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you know, like most of my guys have a prime lift for each movement pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's a Smith machine squat, a hack squat, a barbell squat, whatever, for example.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we're just going to carry that to the next program.
Yep.
You know, same, like whatever through the hips, whether it's an RDL or hip thrust or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we're going to keep, excuse me, all those. And then it's like, what other stuff would you like to see? Oh, I wouldn't mind doing this exercise. I wouldn't mind doing this. I'm like, okay, could I make it fit?
Yeah.
I can. And then it's like, we'll just do that.
Yeah.
You know, but generally I'm like, even if someone hasn't nutted out the technique on a movement yet, and I'm like, there's still lots of progress to be made here. I'm like, you really shouldn't, even though it's taken maybe 4 weeks to kind of get us here, and usually it's like another 4 weeks and it's over. It's like, we could probably ride this out for a little bit more. So it's just like whether you want to, if you're 100% invested in getting results and you're willing to do whatever it takes, they'll stay on the program as long as necessary. And then others are just like, I need to mix up mental stimulation with something different.
You need to have fun going to the gym.
Yeah. Yeah. And you typically see that the goals reflect that as well.
Yeah. Which I think my coaching audience has shifted to that person. There's like, has always gone to the gym or has gone to the gym for a while, and it's like, but I want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Still obviously training some like competitors and stuff as well.
Yeah.
But there's more and more people that are like, I need to enjoy going.
I'm sorry, dog.
This isn't necessarily like my whole life.
Yeah.
So
That's tough. Like, cause I'm like, I just enjoy working out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's refreshing to know that there needs to be an element of variety for people.
And there's lots of different avenues of that too. Like Jess, another shout out. Who's like, she just needs a goal.
Works for us.
Like, she just needs a goal. It's like, okay, so how about? So we tried to peak her for a powerlifting meet, and her body was like, nah.
Yeah.
Because she's got an autoimmune thing that flares up when the stress load's too high. You can't control stress load when you have a toddler. It's just like, it wasn't like, no, you're not sleeping enough. Sleep better.
Yeah, how dare you?
It's like, nah, bro.
Yeah, you just don't want it enough.
It's like, well, we can do dead and bench, and we can do a run, and we can overlap those things. We just seem to be squatting that. If she squats and deadlifts,
it's too much.
Yeah, things go a little bit haywire. So for her, it's just like, okay, we did the photo shoot. There's the target. Now we've got 2 lifts and a run. Like, there's the target. And then the training is just like, she wants to be a weapon, so we just add some stuff in.
Yeah.
Then other people just like, it's the competition. That gives me enough focus. Or even like post-competition, I need, and I find this a lot, clients need something to commit to post, so you don't get that post-comp hangover.
Of course.
And it's like 6 months for my next comp's too far away.
Yep.
So especially because the program looks so different to the peak program. It's the biggest jump. So like you go non-specific, increase specificity, super fucking specific.
Yeah.
And then boom.
It's like all this
totally different
variability again.
And you're like, the fuck is this? I don't even know what where's that machine? I don't even know.
Yeah.
So I find that it's an interesting web to kind of unpack each individual and be like, what makes it fun for you to go?
Yeah.
Is it an outcome that's X distance away? Is it variability in your training? Is it variability in your workouts and your weeks? Like, where's the thing that makes this fun for you?
Yeah.
So like if I was coaching you, for example, it'd just be like data. You'd be like, look, this is your volume load. You've been doing this program for 12 weeks. You were doing this much. Now you're doing this much. And you'd be like, yes. And that would be like, okay, that's rewarding enough.
Yeah.
Whereas other people are just like, oh, fuck, I've been doing lat pull down for 20 weeks. Can't do something else.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, do neutral grip, lat pull down. So
change the arm angle.
Yeah. So I know we're going into Q&A. So I'm going to ask the first question.
All right. What's up, guys? So before we move on, just wanted to make sure you guys know about our free resources on the website. So go to www.stcfit.com/resources and take advantage of our free body transformation guide, our SBD guide, and our body transformation quiz.
I'll ask it from the perspective of a client.
Okay.
Don't necessarily want bigger legs at all.
Yep.
Maybe slightly bigger quads, but definitely not more glutes or hamstrings. Goal of running 4 days a week, but short sessions.
Short running sessions or
Short
weight
workouts.
sessions? Oh, yeah.
Like probably need to be in and out within an hour.
Yeah. Short. Yeah.
What? Yeah.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's not 3.
Yeah.
Do you have do you subscribe to the minimum effective volume concept in that scenario? What would be your go-to in that scenario? Is like get
build
in
your quads.
So let's say maybe build slightly but maintain and just not lose a heap of muscle.
Yeah.
But also aren't focused on them. Like what's the least amount I can do so it has the least amount of effect on my running.
Yeah.
And then allows me to do everything else that I want to do. Prioritize volume to upper body, all that kind of stuff. Do you A, pick one exercise and just fucking destroy yourself on it? Do you B, have like a full day where you're trying to chase like that kind of 6 sets of like minimum effective volume or whatever?
Yeah.
Like how are you approaching that?
Your minute, like 6 sets is a really good, like kind of, this could be enough. That is different for everybody. You could find it pretty quickly because you're a trained person who all right, let's start at 3 sets and four sets would be best, probably spread over the week. So you could find out whether your legs are growing just off that minimum amount, but you got to train hard to do that.
Yeah. So the across a week is interesting because I've even been thinking about the first exercise of every workout being my leg exercise instead of having a leg day.
Yeah, well, if you're willing to, you don't necessarily have to do it every time you go to the gym, but you could start with like two sets on one session, and then 2 or 3 days later do 2 sets on another.
Yeah,
you could do a lower amount of sets if you train to close to failure.
Yeah.
And you just have to decide what the trade-off is. So I think because you're running, you're better off doing heavier loads. Training close to failure with heavier loads. You don't necessarily have to train to it, but it's like 6 reps. We'll use that as a number. The load's going to be high. If it's within, say, 2 or 3 reps of failure, you're going to get the muscle activation and the effective reps to, stimulate those or expose those muscles to mechanical tension because there's slow contraction velocities. So that's going to expose those muscles to mechanical transduction and blah 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 blah. So you could do that without the trade-off of the extra reps causing fatigue.
Yeah.
Because with higher rep sets, you still get the same amount of effective reps. That's the concept. So let's say I do 15 reps.
Yeah.
The first 10 are nothing.
Yeah.
They don't do anything really, but you've got to get through the first 10 to get the last 5.
Yeah.
Because it's the last 5 if you're training close to failure, and you have to train very close to failure when the reps are high, they'll change contraction velocity. And then that's when, actin-myosin filaments touch each other for longer and there's slower speeds and there's more force being produced in the muscle, and they get exposed to mechanical tension the same way that those 6 reps do.
Yeah.
So don't go out now and 6 rep everything. Doesn't work that way.
Yeah, because your body will break if you try and do 120 sets of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And there's movements where you're probably not going to really going to take a lot of it.
That was when you said the 6 reps, I was like, my first thought was I'll have to change the leg extension. Yeah,
we don't have to do the leg extension. It's just that the trade-off is that you'll need to do more reps to get to those effective reps, to do that.
Yeah.
So then it's just after 2 to 3, probably 2 weeks, are your legs getting bigger or are they staying the same? And then you would just kind of play around with the dose of that.
Yeah.
You could even add another exercise in too if you didn't want to add more sets.
Yeah.
Because I know there's only so many sets I can do on an exercise and train hard, and then I'm I need to move to something else.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of pondering at the moment is I have a leg day at the moment.
Yeah.
And then the day or 2 after that, kind of useless. Because I'm actually sore and super tired, but it's if I just had one exercise per session spread out over the week, still accumulating that volume. So it's I might do hack squat day 1, RDL day 2, and then I in my head I had leg extension, hamstring curl as the isolation exercises.
Yeah.
If I just went in and did 2 hard sets of those at the start of my workout, got me primed to then jump into upper body, I'll probably do all of those exercises at a higher intensity than I would if it was on a leg day.
Yeah.
in terms of like proximity to
Some
failure,
people,
etc.
some people can respond to that quite favorably.
Yeah. And then it's like I don't have to. It'd be interesting what the low. I'll try it. What the low level of fatigue extended over the week versus a high acute level of fatigue created from one training day would be like.
Yeah, I would be really curious to know, and I reckon it could potentially lead to less muscle damage in the session.
Yeah.
Because if you're just bombarding a muscle group over a session, like that's going to cause more muscle damage as a trade-off to the session being so dense.
Yeah.
So it could help your recovery or your management of like the other activities and stuff at the same time.
Yep.
So yeah, that's how I would do it.
Like it.
Yeah.
While we bring the questions up, more simple question. Knee sleeves on deep knee flexion exercises with the intent of building quads.
Yeah, so
Because I'm in the camp now that I think it's dumb.
well, it's funny because I put knee sleeves on for the pendulum squat, and it feels really good. But that's because with a pendulum squat and a hack squat as well, some hack squats, not every hack squat.
So I have a very upright hack squat.
Yeah, so there'll be a point. It just depends on where the peak force is and how high of a peak that force is comparative to the rest of the contractile range of motion. Because if you look at like a pendulum squat, as you descend, it's like obviously super easy because the weight's taking you down.
Yeah.
As you push off the foot plate, there's probably 2 or 3 inches of the movement that's super easy. Super easy.
Yeah.
And then it gets fucking almost insurmountable for about 2 or 3 inches.
Yep.
Once you get through that sticking point,
it's fine.
There's then no more tension.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, how many reps of that can I do? And then it's like, well, if there's that much peak force kind of, being applied at that particular point of the movement, it's like, my knees hurt and, those kind of things. So what the knee sleeve could potentially do is smooth out that kind of peak of the force within that particular part of the movement, because the sleeve itself adds, passive force. Because it's like, elastic property once it gets stretched. So then what you do is you load up more weight on the pendulum, but it becomes a little bit more even across there. So then there's a bit more weight at the top of the exercise, a tiny bit more at the bottom.
Yep.
And that's what accommodating resistance would do, like if you had a band as well.
So you don't think there's an impact on localized hypertrophy? Because it's like the thing you see with all the powerlifters, right? It's like they wear knee sleeves because they feel so nice.
Of course.
They wear it when they squat. They wear it when they lunge. They wear it when they split squat. They wear it fucking anytime I can possibly put a knee sleeve, I'm going to put it on.
I think there's...
And then they all have...
Yeah, they got
like
no VMO.
Legs. Yeah.
They got no VMO at all. I think there's times that it's worthy not having the sleeves on. Like, I see some people doing it in lunges and stuff, and I'm like,
well, that's
lunges. I don't know,
leg
how
press,
valuable
lunge, those kind of things,
how valuable the sleeve is going to be, because it's like it's not really that tough at the bottom of a lunge, So I think there might be movements, maybe some split squat variations and stuff where you're literally trying to target an extreme muscle length for an individual. Like you could probably get away with not having the sleeve on. I think the hardest part is like there's just an exceptional level of comfort that comes from that compression into that joint from each angle. As well.
Dennis from Roba put up a good post about it last week. Just like the psychological impact of a knee sleeve when squatting. Like I don't know. I've never been able to determine whether it's psychological or physical.
Yeah, I think it's probably a combination.
We talk about the disinhibition. So you have elements in your, let's say, nervous system and the muscle itself that basically prevents you from producing the maximum amount of force that you could possibly produce.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not fucking anatomy expert or even go deeper than that. Like I don't understand it to this level.
Neurophysiologist.
Thank you. So I don't even know the term for it. That's a good start. So I would be curious, as much as a wrist wrap, a knee sleeve, or whatever, increases tension and reduces energy loss at a joint.
Yeah.
how much of it is actually a signal of stability to your brain to be like, hey, it's okay to produce force.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you're on an unstable surface, your body won't produce the maximum amount of force because it senses the instability. And it's like, if I do that, you'll probably get hurt.
Yeah.
So it's like if putting the knee sleeve on creates that extra stability and adds a psychological level of safety and feels really nice and it's fucking cold, so it feels nice on your knees anyway.
Yeah.
And does all of those things and you're able to lift more weight. What's the trade-off? Is it a specific regional hypertrophy? Or is that just like the way a powerlifter trains we don't actually train the shortened position of the quad ever?
Yeah.
And the regional hypertrophy lack comes from just squatting all the time and not doing any extension work.
I think it's just powerlifting. You don't really get to any extreme muscle length, whether it's short or lengthened.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Like you think about most of the time, like the power position for a powerlifter is the low bar squat.
Yeah.
So like extreme muscle length doesn't really get achieved ever.
Yeah.
It's not like maybe the quad's more shortened because you get full extension of the knee, but you never really get like.
But the
deep.
load's low by then.
So
by that part of the squat.
Yeah. So there's probably a little bit to that.
Yeah. Well, I guess like Olympic lifters have no issue with quad development, do they?
No, and they're getting deep.
Yeah. Because it's parallelism pass.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and even to do the exercise, I guess like you have to come from that kind of deep knee flexion position, and they wear heel lifts, most of them, if not all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Body Blitz Gisborne.
So yeah, I reckon
powerlifting Ben's coming to the gym next week. I'm gonna have my lifters, my knee sleeves, and my belt, and I'm gonna bark and grunt on the hack machine. Everyone's gonna be like, "Who the fuck's this guy?" I thought he was some quiet dude that listens to podcasts when he trains.
Yeah. I think as a cheat code, like for growth, you'll get more bang for buck too. Just like getting your muscles to extreme muscle lengths under tension. Yeah. So like pick movements that you can do that. How are we doing for time, Tam?
So probably won't have time for a lot of questions. We're 51 in.
51. Let's do it.
What do we normally do for this? Like in terms of time?
We'll do 90 minutes. Joe Rogan up in here.
Oh, I'm only going to pick
fuck, we've got to edit 90 minutes.
I'm only going to pick the good ones. So this one says not going to judge, but why? So just letting you know, if you put not going to judge at the start, you're going to judge.
You've already judged.
Yeah. So
the judgment has been made.
So if you're listening, like, yeah, I don't know what you.
Was that a response to using the not going to lie thing?
I think maybe
it's just like you look like a thirsty girl.
Look, we don't lose our curiosity the older we get. We just get more fearful of other people's thoughts about us.
Yeah.
So that's why people don't ask questions generally.
Yep.
So yeah, like if you understand very basic principles of human behavior, you'll realize that when someone can ask a question and not know, and the person doesn't know who asked it, they're going to ask more.
Yeah.
So there's probably about 25 questions here, guys.
Yeah. Which we'll save for next week.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for contributing as well. So anyway, so to that person, like, I don't know what you're trying to say there, but whatever. So, any travel plans? Have you got any travel plans? Yeah.
I'm going to Queensland for nationals.
Yeah.
We're in house mode.
Yeah. We're in interest rates just went up mode.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys aren't going to Europe like everyone else.
No.
Steph and I floated the idea maybe next year, but it's like the same old story for us. Like someone's going to look after the dogs for a month.
Yeah.
I need to have a month away from the business.
Yep.
And then it's like to plan it, she needs 6 months leave to give 6 months, for the leave.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, how do you line all that up?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd like to go to Europe. I think at the very least, like the next World Cup's in like America. So when I say America, it's like, I'm pretty sure it's in like Central, Northern and Canada.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So I think at the very least, like I think I'll be 39.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm catching that shit.
Yeah, I'd be mad.
Going to Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm going to the States. I'm going to Canada.
Yeah.
Don't care. I'll go by myself if I have to. It's like I've got to catch a World Cup before my time.
Yeah.
Ben?
Well, you can still enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's it. Fuck, I don't know about you, but like that, I have that conundrum all the time now. Because I just like look at my dad who's retired. I'm like, love you, Dad. But I'm like, it's just like a little bit old and brittle now.
Yeah.
And he's like retired and he's enjoying himself. But I'm like, fuck, man, I want to enjoy myself now.
Earlier.
So I have this like, like this fucking tug of war with my decisions that I make. Because it's like, you can't be that person that just like lives for that time when you're going to retire. I think that sometimes that time never comes and you've seen it. So then it's like you spent your whole life setting yourself up for a time that never came.
Yeah.
And then you can't be that person that lives week to week.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, well, bro, that last 30 years of your life is going to be a fucking slog.
Yeah, and fucking every week of your life, to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah. So then it's like, well, how far do you kind of push things? And I always kind of just have come at loggerheads when I think about it. It's like, how much fun do you have now?
Yeah.
Compared to how much do you set yourself up? But then I guess like it's easy for me to say, it's like I've already got a house and I'm already like settled.
Yeah.
So it's like I probably can do some of those things.
Yeah, I think the family dynamic makes a big difference too, because I know that's not necessarily on the cards for you guys at least anytime soon. So it's like I think my thought process is slightly different because it's like, well, that's the immediate plan.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, I'm not going to book a Europe holiday next year because I fucking hope that we have an infant.
Yeah,
that I'm not taking to Europe. So it's like the planning is kind of different from that perspective. So
yeah, life dynamics.
I think your view of all of that would be very different.
Yeah, man, and like,
to most,
I got no one to leave the shit behind too. So I'm just like, I said to Steph, I go, fuck, you can't fucking spend it when you're dead.
So there's a book called Retire Broke.
Yeah,
and it like literally, I haven't read it yet, but it literally changed one of my mate's life. Yeah, because he was like, work to the fucking bone. And then retire early, and that was it. That was his entire goal. And it's really changed his behavior. Like they bought a caravan, they started traveling.
Yeah, it's mad.
Like in just enjoying life way more in the now. So maybe that would be worth a read. Might give you some perspective.
Yeah. Summer house that I just bought. That's my fortune. Did you write this, Dylan? One friend you're thankful for.
Oh,
that was definitely this guy.
No, it actually wasn't.
Yeah, I have lots, so it's hard for me to just. I think I'm a very fortunate person. So I have a circle of friends that I'm thankful for. Yeah, I'm still I've had friendships for probably 10, 15 years plus. Yeah, so can't pinpoint one of them. Yeah. So if you're gonna be a dog and name one person, now's your time.
Yeah, I also have a lot. And I any friendship that doesn't matter how long the time passes, the mood in the room is exactly the same. Yeah, when you see them.
Well, that's the telltale sign of a good friend. Yeah, isn't it? Doesn't matter how long.
The G's.
Yeah, I've even got friends that I don't hang out with now that I can do that. Yeah. Like, just does not matter. You just bump into them. Yeah, and it's like just the same. Yeah, it's chilled. Because like some people,
as long as it's not the same in that. It's like being 19 again. You're like,
nah, look. It's just really comfortable.
Yeah, the vibe is the same.
The vibe is, yeah. I'm not reading that one because I'm not religious.
Enough said.
Yeah, but
what? That was like, is heaven real? I'm like,
oh wow,
it's got to be bullshit.
Okay.
It's like, okay, you can believe whatever you want. So, I don't want to have that conversation, but we can if you want to.
It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep moving.
It's like
you pissed the Christians off enough at Easter.
Well, it's like I don't. We're not going to sit here and have a conversation about that, are we?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Not in 2 minutes, anyway.
What is your opinion on what is you? Oof. What's up, guys? So before we move on, just a little bit more information for those people who are curious about coaching. Maybe they want someone to take care of their training, get a bit more specific, take it to the next level, or even just keep them accountable to all of the things that they need to do. So again, you guys can go onto the website, get a little bit more information. It's got all the information on there on what's involved to take your training to the next level. You can hit the inquiry button, and then we'll get on a strategy call and see what we can do for you. What is the biggest struggle when it comes to implementing fitness into our daily lives? I don't have. So this is a hard one because it's going to come from the eyes of someone who struggles with it, obviously, right?
Yeah, which you don't.
Because I don't.
It. Yeah.
It's like it sits within the top 5 values of me as a person. Yeah. My health and physical health is a reflection of the fitness that I embark on every day. Yeah. So I don't have a problem doing it. Yeah. If anything, I
have a problem doing it.
I push other things out, knowing that I have to do it.
Yeah. So I can't remember who. Anyway, I heard someone say the other day a really cool concept that, from a social and even political standpoint, I think is really fucking interesting. Yeah. He is like I don't even know what these terms are anymore. Like progressive, libertarian, like pro, like base income and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Blue hair, like full on. But he made the comment that in a one-on-one environment, I am 100% take full personal responsibility. The government's not going to look after you. Your employer's not going to look after you. No one's going to look after you. Take care of your own health. Take care of your own life.
Yeah.
Take care of your own shit.
Yeah.
But on a societal level, we should endeavor to make the world better for everybody.
Yeah.
So when we look at like, okay, well, what are the impacts of why people don't want to invest in their health, invest in time, invest whatever? What are the social impacts that are maybe drawing that down?
Yeah.
I would be really curious. Invite this person on an individual level. This is like that take personal responsibility element.
Yeah.
Have a look at your screen time. We spoke last week about doing that 1 hour staring at the wall thing. Most people wouldn't last 5 minutes. If your phone was in the room, when was the last time you stood in a line without pulling out your phone? When was the last time? I did it last night. We're at the pub. Amy went up to order food. I was like, yuck.
Mm.
Like, I think if you were like, I should go to the gym, don't pick up your phone.
Yeah.
Make the trade-off. If I don't go to the gym, this is supposed to be gym time, I'm not going to pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Or turn the TV on. You go to the fucking gym because you just need distraction.
Mm.
So I think that is a really big part of it. But then on a social level, obviously you've got like the fact that Kit Kats are at the front and ice creams are on sale and it's cheaper to eat shit food than it is to eat good food. Like all of those like social implications. But I think we have a life so full of distractions that allows us to escape bad decisions way too easily.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't relate to anyone who struggles to go to the gym. It's a tough thing for me.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To look at the gym and go, I can't be fucked. I'm just like, I've never, it's never been that much that I've never gone.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
Yeah. For a day,
like,
maybe not for
it's like brushing your
a week or a
teeth.
month.
It's just like, you just do it.
Yeah.
It's like eating breakfast.
Yeah.
Just do it. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you get to that point.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm never tuning into this podcast ever
Fuck
again.
Jason.
Yeah. What's your biggest insecurity?
Mine?
Yeah.
I've never talked about this publicly.
Oh, really? Do you want to?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's all right. Fuck it. When I was 13, 14, becoming from boy to man, I got, what's the word for it?
Wait. Is this your biggest insecurity in general? Okay.
Yeah.
Not just the moment.
No.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm just trying to look for the word for it. Just basically hormonal gyno.
Oh, okay.
At that age.
Yeah.
And I've still got it.
Yeah.
And it fucking, like, house, child, surgery.
Yeah.
And that'll be...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mine is the ungodly amount of body hair that I've had from my father's Maltese genes. So I'm blaming... Actually, no, I don't blame my dad because he's not that hairy. And neither's my granddad. And my mum's brother is. So that's like an Aussie side.
From the white side. Look out.
White people. But thankfully, a little bit of expendable income.
Yeah. You can get
laser and sort that shit out. But yeah, it was like for a very long time, this beard being picked on at high school. Yeah. Even by like teachers and principal and shit. Like having facial hair.
Jesus.
I was like 15, 16. It's
Yeah.
Pretty sure you would have got fired.
Now.
If it was now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that used to be. But like, because I've always looked about 25 to 30 since I was about 18.
Yeah.
Now
and you still do, it's okay.
Now that I'm 25, now that I'm middle-aged.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're just like a big jack dude who's kind of like burly and hairy. So it's kind of like I've just grown into it now.
Yeah.
So I'm living my best life now, guys. Big hairy chest that I shave legs for Karim.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably it. But like my biggest fear in the future is 100% losing my hair. I know it's so vain because I shave my head, but I'm just like...
I just want to know it's there when I want it.
We were mucking around like with some friends and they were like, we just asking each other stupid questions when we're pissed. And they're like, what's Jason's biggest fear? And Steph's just like, losing his hair. She knows every time I'm like, fucking like, oh,
measuring photos and shit.
I was like, that fucking hairline was way more prominent.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a thing for
I
me.
opened a module in the standout PT course the other day, and fuck, thick, high fringe.
I saw one and I was like, oh, so that's what Ben used to look like.
Yeah. And then like we were actually talking about it after the lift off, and Jess was like, I've never even looked at it or noticed. And I was like, when you look at the old pictures to the now pictures, it's like, fuck. Yeah.
Just got to get big and jacked, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the
But
cheat
it's
code.
like you go to like either side of my family, like
You're in trouble.
yes,
Yeah.
no chance.
Yeah,
No
I think I'm going to be okay. Like my dad's still got hair. He's like 65.
Yeah.
60 something. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like my granddad was like old as and still had kinda a little bit.
Yeah.
So holding on.
Good luck to you. Good luck.
Look, if it falls off, I'll be okay, but I don't want it to.
Yeah.
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 It's a very vain thing.
I go like I switch. I'm like some days I'm like just fucking shave it off, and then other days I'm like I care about it, and I want to go back to that Viking thing that I had. In,
Yeah.
in
that
time,
dog
demonetized.
It's alright. I've been censoring him.
Do your magic.
Have
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Just drop out the word.
Yeah.
This is another heavy one.
Okay.
You guys really want to know the heavy shit. What's your worst day ever?
Worst day ever.
All in one day.
Worst day. So I'm like, is this worst time or just worst day? Like everything all happened in the day?
Is
or
this like the worst one we've ever had, or the worst potential?
It says, what was your worst day ever?
So that you had.
It's when Amy miscarried.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's you win that one.
I don't think it's competition.
Yeah. I was going to say when my dog died, but then now it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go, guys. How dare you? Yeah. How dare you?
Next question.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting us all.
Don't end the episode on
Make it a
that.
happy
Fucking
one.
hell.
Finish with a happy one.
Oh. I'm never answer. Oh, I don't want to answer that one. What's with the religion ones, guys?
It's probably in the app.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Still getting.
It's probably an auto one.
Who do you have pinned on your iMessage?
Dad and Amy.
Yeah, I only have Steph. Who's your worst enemy?
That's definitely from the app. Are you laughing because you're thinking of someone?
Because you're not going to answer it.
Well, yeah, definitely not on the pod.
I don't have any enemies.
Me
I don't have any enemies.
Me either.
I'm too busy doing my own shit.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to answer that one. Who's your ideal clients? Wrong podcast. Who's your ideal? Yeah. Jackson, I'm not answering the Ibiza question. Fuck off.
My ideal client is anyone that I'd have coffee with on the weekend that likes training.
Mine is if you want to get jacked to shredded, and you're cool.
Do you have to like them? Yeah.
Yeah, you're cool.
Yeah.
You gotta be
Good
cool.
save.
Well, you can just be jacked. You can just want to be jacked and shredded. I just want to speak to you, mate.
All your clients are just like, how many messages did Jason?
I'll give you the plan.
Does he like me?
I'll give you the plan. You get the expertise and the guidance.
Yeah.
It's just like probably not hanging out on the weekend. No, just kidding. I love all my clients. Okay, let's do this one. So this will be the last one. So do you think coaching has gone too far and too many coaches are trying to be mindset coaches, aka counselors? And if so, is that putting a different connotation of what a coach actually does in people's minds?
Oh, how long we got?
Is this the right podcast?
Yeah, it is.
No, it definitely is, because it's like the people are listening who want a coach or have a coach. So their expectations of what we do could potentially be changed because I'm trying to dance outside of my scope of practice because I'm not good at it by embarking on other skill sets that I really have no place in doing.
So on Beyond the Gym Floor, which came out on Monday, we had a really big discussion about this. Talking to a client about this. I think someone asked me during the week, what's the future of personal training? And my answer was programming, nutrition, data interpretation will be superseded within 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
By
AI.
By the robots.
Yeah. So if you are relying on that, and a lot of people are, which is not wrong, and they've invested so much money in being really good technically and all of that, and then here's a thing, right? Client who is also a nerd sees a nerdy PT talk about nerdy things.
Yeah.
Nerdy things create the buy-in. This person's smart. I want to work with them. And even the client thinks that they're buying the intelligence.
Yeah.
They're not.
No.
Because if it was just intelligence, you could download it yourself. It's the personality, it's the vibe, it's the whatever the fuck you want to kind of say. It's going to be funny because we're talking about mindset coaches and just say the vibration. It's the thing that's attracting you to that person.
Yeah.
The fact that they're anti-mindset coach. You're anti-mindset coach, so you're like, I want to work with them.
Yeah.
Because they're the science people, right?
Mm.
We all know those coaches.
Yeah.
And then they think that, oh, well, I just post about the science.
Yeah.
And people like it, so I get clients. Like, no, the way you deliver it resonates with other people that think the same way as you.
Yeah.
So you think you're the science guy, you're not. You're still selling a personality. Because there's lots of people who say that shit who have zero personality, who have zero clients.
Yeah.
So that is a bit of a for a lot of people. So if you're a client, that's worth making note of. Hire the person you want to work with based on what they value, etc., and you'll have a much better time. Has it gone too far? I think it's important to identify what coaching actually is. So personal training is writing programs and training people.
Yeah.
Coaching is not that. Coaching is finding a way to get the most out of the person in front of them.
Yeah.
Different people interpret that differently.
Yeah.
Has the pendulum swung too far into every personal trainer thinking that if they solve the root cause of their fucking disconnection with their body or whatever, then they will get everyone results? Fucking oath it has.
Yeah.
There's way too many people who think that they can do that, who haven't.
Yeah, they've done like a weekend course and shit.
And have never done it for themselves. But anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Have you noticed how many people that make that shift also gain 10 to 15 kilos in the next 12 months?
I don't really pay attention.
Yeah.
But
it's a very interesting assessment.
Yeah.
So, and it's not everyone, not throwing shade at everyone, but it happens a lot. So has it gone too far? Yes, but I also think don't lose what coaching fucking means. Because you want someone to coach you, not program for you. Because programming for you is fucking useless. You can go on ChatGPT now and download a program that's pretty good. For most people.
I was going to say, they're pretty shit. But
yeah, like 2 to 5% of the population that we work with. Sure. But I think...
I agree.
Fuck, 5 years from now.
I think as a expectation, so we're supposed to work in the realm of dealing with healthy people. So a healthy person's in absence of disease and whatever conditions. So there's elements of coaching that we can kind of work within for that.
Yeah.
And there's elements of health that we can help influence. Yeah. Psychological, mental, even spiritual, dare I say it, if you want to do that shit. But there becomes a point where the needs and demands of a person may exceed what is healthy and your capabilities. Yep. And that is when there's a specialist who's there for that job. Yep. There's people with very minimal experience, little to none, no qualifications or in-depth kind of knowledge playing around in that space. Yeah. And I think that even to ask a online coach, fitness trainer, fitness professional, whatever the fuck you want to bundle that up as, to sit there and be a fucking master chef, have this like really in-depth like knowledge of like nutrition, be able to kind of unpack your thoughts, your feelings, and all your deepest troubles, as well as like do all of the other things that they're supposed to do in their job, I think is a little bit unrealistic. Yeah, I think that there's a time and a place for an expert to step in. Yeah, and it's like if you can't stick to a meal plan and learn how to make your own decisions about your nutrition, you need to outsource to a nutrition specialist who's going to give you 7 different fucking meal plans for 7 days that align with your goals. Like, I'm not doing that. Yeah. Like, if you...
Yeah, just like your childhood trauma is, if that's the reason that you emotionally eat, that's not for me to fix.
Yeah, it's like whatever the trigger is emotionally, it's like, I can dial you in to be motivated to train and keep you locked in, focused on what you need to do for whatever. But it's like if there's something that's like traumatized you to stop you from doing that, I'm out.
Outside of bringing awareness to the behavior and offering some solutions,
I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you
start. And there's people taking on that mantle that don't actually, that have fucking no life experience themselves.
Well, and the irony of it is so many of the people who operate in this space will talk to people about how they project onto others.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like you became that person because something happened to you and you want to kind of pass that on to other people.
Yeah.
But you're passing on your biases.
Yeah.
You can't. You're not trained enough to be able to step back and be like, this is your thing. Deal with that individually without my.
Yeah, I just think if like you're somebody who's listening to this who wants that kind of stuff, ask whoever it is that you're about to hire, how long have you been doing this for?
Yeah.
What are your actual credentials?
Yeah.
Which doesn't really kind of get asked. And every now and then when I get someone ask me, I'm like, ooh, like that's a bit, but I'm like, that's a fucking valid question.
Yep.
Really, when you think of it, it's like, oh, what credentials do you have? And it's like that person's basically saying, are you actually qualified to take care of me?
Yeah.
So every now and then it's like someone might be like, oh, that's a bit forward, but it's like, one of our coaches got all those questions and I was like, they are fucking valid as questions that almost every single person should kind of screen their coach when they ask them.
Yeah.
And people don't, they just go, the persona that's being portrayed most of the time on social media and the shit that they're talking about makes out as if they're going to solve everyone's fucking problems or just make them feel good the way they are so they actually achieve nothing.
Yeah.
And that sounds great. So I'm just going to, take that route and get personal training at the same time.
It's also important to remember this is the same industry that bought into keto, watched What the Health and believed it.
Yeah.
It thought intermittent fasting is going to change the world.
Yeah.
Decided you could build muscle with resistance bands and kettlebells. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have a good track record as an industry of figuring shit out.
Yeah.
Like, we're all undereducated for the level that we operate in.
It's very
already.
Industry as well.
It's too young and it's too emotionally driven, and emotion is what sells in our space. So it's just none of the people who believed all of those things were doing it to cause harm.
Yeah.
No one woke up in the morning and went, you know what? Everyone will buy keto if I sell it. Fuck them. I know it doesn't work. I'm going to do it anyway.
Shouldn't say that.
Lucky I talked over it. So no one did that intentionally to harm people.
Yeah.
Was it correct? No. But the intent was to help. And I think as much as we sit here and be like, because it pisses us off, and we've had a lot of negative experiences. Like, I'll put it, my wife does it for a fucking living. Like, I've also had good experiences with people who operate in this space. She's also doesn't claim to be a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And she's been working on it for fucking 12 years. So, yeah, no one comes out with the deliberate ill intent knowing that X, Y, Z is wrong. It just, they believe what they're doing is helping potentially in 5 years' time, like the way we look at keto now, or What the Health, or what was the other one? The other vegan propaganda one with Arnie in it.
Oh. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, so we all look back at that now and just like, okay, that was propaganda.
Yeah.
Move on with our lives.
Yeah.
We'll probably look back at this phase the same way. The trend will die out and it'll move on. But with the intent of the question, I think it's important that we don't lose coaching.
Yeah.
And that is effective communication. It's understanding more variables than sets, reps, and macros. It's relating to an individual. All of those things is very, very important in what we do. And we can't lose that. But me diagnosing how your childhood trauma affects your training in the gym, it's not. Yeah. It's probably not where we should be playing.
No, I agree. All right. So we could talk forever, so we'll leave it there. But
anyone who didn't have their questions answered, unless they were about religion, we'll do it next week.
Like next week, it's like all religion questions.
Let's get Jason.
Nah. We can talk about it. It just won't be it'll be a very quick conversation.
I'm going to piss myself so you can do the intro.
All right. See
Thanks,
you next time, guys.